Hey Griffins, ionic versus covalent lab, but lab for bonding, unit 3. We need to figure out, is it ionic or is it covalent? That is the purpose of this lab. You are going to have 4 samples of powder. You're not going to know which one's which. It'll be labeled A, B, C, and D. You need to tell me, is this ionic or is it covalent based on the properties? The background is the properties you learned in class. What are the properties of an ionic compound? What are the properties of a covalent compound? You need to write the properties down. Don't write that. We have 4 tests. I'm going to run you through them real fast. Ready? So, first one is solubility and conductivity. I'm going to do those 2 together. So I have just water. I'm going to take some of my powder. And I'm going to put it in. There will be scupulas for you. And we are going to look, does it dissolve? If it dissolves, the solubility is yes. And for the most part, that dissolved real easy. Good, so that one's a yes. Conductivity, safety piece. Do not touch these 2, this is live. Yes, it conducts. Plain water doesn't conduct. It took me adding this particular powder in to get it to conduct. Okay, so there's 2 tests right away. Next one, melting point. I'm going to put a little bit into my little bowl that I made out of foil. I'm going to put it on the hot plate. And we're going to wait and see. If it starts smoking and turning black, it has a low melting point. If it doesn't do anything after a little while, then it's a high melting point and we just toss it. You might want to actually start with this one first. Last one is hardness. I'm going to put a little bit of that powder on the table. And we are not going to slam with this. This is a tool for us. What I'm going to do is just press and listen. Do I hear it crunch? Do I see it break up into smaller pieces? So it's hard. It broke up into a fine powder when I did it. You can see on the hammer it actually did too. It didn't just mush, it cracked into a fine powder. So it's very hard and cleaves. And that's it. So there's your 4 tests. You're going to do each test on all 4, and here is a space for you to rewrite your chart that looks like this. You need to write it 4 times, once for each one, and then you're done with collecting your data. There's a FET to do to get you to understand a little bit about what's going on. You get to play around a little bit. This one you're going to have to do at home because it needs Java. And then your CEI, Claim Evidence Interpretation. Again, I believe that compound A is ionic or covalent. State it, and then why, and then your interpretation. And this is, of course, the most important part of the lab. You just got a 3-minute quick prep on how to do the lab, and now it's up to you to come on in with your pre-lab done, and you're off to the races doing your lab.